Hello ladies and gentlemen, Sigvalgrim here and welcome to another video. So yeah, we got the Vixen gameplay revealed, so we're going to take a look at it. I'm going to take a look at the whole thing first of all, and then we're going to go back to at the start and I'm gonna pause the video and talk a little bit about each one of the aspects of the characters. So yeah, let's go, and hopefully I don't get copyright strike for the music in this video. But my dude is talking a little bit, so we might as well listen to him, I guess.
Gold Vixen is an excellent support hero who increases damage for her entire team and disables specials for all opponents.
Okay, so she's a support. That sounds amazing already.
Let's take a closer look. Vixen temporarily decreases her opponent's defense with her jump attacks.
Interesting. The problem is she doesn't seem to be able to chain a combo from the jump attack.
On their opponents. This damage buff can stack up to 4 times.
Damage buff for each? Negative effect on the opponents? That doesn't sound bad at all. Okay, so the first ability seems to be dog shit because it doesn't do anything.
Silver Harley Quinn, a widely available negative effects hero, jumps in to give
Nobody's gonna use Silver Harley with her.
Vixen
Spoilers.
all class advantages against her team while amplifying their own.
Maybe.
Defense lowered,
Sometimes
Vixen
useful.
takes out Deadshot with her Tiger Rage.
Okay, another useless ability that doesn't do anything. The special 2 doesn't seem to have any additional effects.
Black Adam jumps in to reduce the special cost for his team.
Bro, use a Dr. Fate. How about that? Ever heard of him? Dr. Fate does that by default, reducing power.
Of an electric eel, Vixen disables a random special for each opponent and speeds up power generation for her allies.
I guess. Interesting enough with the special tree. So we'll go back to that.
Using the Tantu totem, Vixen taps into the red to launch and scratch her opponent from multiple directions.
And yeah, the super move doesn't seem to do anything other than some damage and the usual damage increase that each character gets after you doing the super move.
The super move takes out Suicide Squad Harley Quinn and Vixen.
Okay, let's get back to this and pause and talk about it a little bit, lads.
Welcome to the gameplay debut of Vixen. Gold Vixen is an excellent support hero who increases damage.
First of all, it's amazing that it's a support character. We have such a lack of support characters, or of good support characters, that is, in Injustice 2 Mobile, to the point where any support character is going to eventually find a place in a team. So it doesn't matter how good or bad she turns out to be, it's gonna be a place for her in some of the teams.
For her entire team and disables specials for all opponents. She synergizes best with teams that can stack multiple negative effects. Let's take a closer
Okay, so
look.
first up, the Steel Claws. We'll talk about the negative effects passive afterwards when they bring it up. This is going to reduce the armor of the enemy by a jump attack. First of all, it sucks that she has the Cheetah model, because the Cheetah model, as far as I remember, can't chain a combo from a jump attack. So we got the character that has a core mechanic behind the jump attack, but unlike other characters like Black Manta, Darkseid, Batman, Catwoman, can't chain a combo from a jump attack, which is kind of weird to me. Kind of weird, though maybe they changed something for her and she can chain a combo, but they definitely did not show that in the video. So you're just gonna awkwardly keep jumping and reducing the opponent's armor, and keep in mind it's a debuff that expires, so you'll need to constantly reapply this. So for this to be useful, she actually needs to be a decent combo builder in the first place for her to be able to be in there and constantly justify applying the defense reductions. So overall, honestly, I don't think the defense reduction will be a core part of her gameplay and a core part of the reason why you put her in the team. Though yet again, against some fights, this might be a good alternative for the people who don't have the Sword of Sin and are you already using classic Superman within our team. So I guess that's fine.
Vixen temporarily decreases her opponent's defense with her jump attacks. From the sidelines, she helps her teammates deal more damage for each different negative effect on their opponents.
Okay, this is a very interesting one. More damage for each negative effect on the opponents can have tons of applications. First up is the Silver Banshee team, because Silver Banshee by default applies to debuffs on the opponents in terms of the specials that she disables for them. So by default it will make Silver Banshee deal far more damage. But the problem is Silver Banshee needs a power reduction character which is gonna be a power girl, and needs a combo builder, which is reverse flash. So she either needs to be generating more power than power girl, which doesn't seem to be able to do just by being in the team and not being in combat, or if you put her instead of reverse flash or Martian Manhunter, she needs to be a better combo builder. So while in theory she seems to synergize very well because of her passive with the Silver Banshee team, in practice it remains to be seen. It just remains to be seen. Also, some very interesting thing to note. Also, there's the Batman Ninja team that applies a lot of debuffs, but you're most likely not gonna see it there because they kind of need the whole team. They need the whole gang with Robin and Grodd and Catwoman, so there might not be room for her there. Though a very interesting thing with the debuff thing, it's that Raven's Darkness is a debuff. If you put a Sword of Sin on Raven, it's gonna be double the debuff. If you have the Beta Club, it's gonna be triple the debuff because Beta Club is also going to apply a power slow on the enemy. So this paired up, let's say, with Raven and Kilnfly Aquaman, might get the Beta Club some very crazy values, and even if you don't have the Beta Club, and even if you are not able to inflict a burning effect with the Sword of Sin with Raven, even with like base Raven Darkness and Kilnfly Aquaman, this might be decent. Also, it might be decent for Black Manta to have her as support character if he's using specials, because upon a special use, Black Manta is going to inflict at the very least 2 debuffs on the enemy, actually 3 with all of them, because there's by default the damage over time debuff that Black Manta inflicts, there is the healing, not healing reduction, like healing blocking debuff that he inflicts, and each of his specials is going to have yet another debuff like Power Stone Special 1, Burning on Special 2, and Stun on Special 3. So actually Black Manta by default, just by having her in the team and being the main active character, is going to take full benefit of that passive, so that's a very interesting thing to keep in mind. Also, the Multiverse team, I mean, they only have 1 debuff in terms of the Burning on Multiverse Armored Supergirl, but who knows, maybe it will prove that with her they deal more damage than they would deal with Red Hood in League raids. But yeah, it remains to be seen, but very interesting passive indeed.
This damage buff can stack up to 4 times.
Up to 4 times. Not 3 times, my bad there.
Vixen attacks her opponent.
So yeah, Black Manta can go all the way to 4, these 4 negative effects on the enemy if he also has Beta Club on top of using an ability. So yeah, she might actually be the best support for Black Manta alongside Brainiac.
With a jump kick.
Again, the special one is nothing but literally the copy-pasted special one of Cheetah. And why when there's 2 female characters, especially when there's Harley in the fight and you pause it, it's gonna be quite weird. Let me screenshot this. This might make it in the thumbnail actually. But yeah, just a risking of the actually literally the Cheetah special one.
Silver Harley Quinn, a widely available negative effects hero, jumps in to give Dead
There were so many choices, my dude, in terms of negative effects applying in the game. There were so many choices, and you went with Silver Harley Quinn.
Shot a special treat. Vixen disables all class advantages against her team, while
okay, again, this thing with the class advantages might be something that you're not gonna specifically use her for, but you're going to heavily benefit when it randomly happens to happen. Also, this might be another argument for her having a chance to be in the Silver Banshee team, because Silver Banshee is fighting in League Race Dr. Fate, and they both have a class advantage against each other because they are both arcane and they deal more damage to each other. So that's an interesting thing to take in. But again, it's most likely going to be something that you're never gonna specifically look for using, but it's gonna come in pretty handy when it happens. Also, depending on the values, you might wanna orient some teams to have a class advantage and get it buffed by her if the value of the passive is that crazy.
amplifying their own. With his defense lowered, Vixen takes out Deadshot with her Tiger Rage.
Okay, Special 2 is also garbage, doesn't do literally anything but some damage. But again, she's a support character, so I don't mind it too much. They could have added a little bit of flavor in there. They didn't have to make it overpowered or even worth using, but at the very least make it do something but damage. At the very least, it's a unique animation for the special, rather than a risking as it's the special one.
Black Adam jumps in to reduce the special cost for his team.
Use a Dr. Fate. I don't know what's this new deal with Black Adam reducing the power cost, But Dr. Fate and Power Girl literally do that for free without casting any specials. This is not the first time this man uses Black Adam as a power reduction character. My dude, use Dr. Fate or Power Girl, please, please.
With the power of an electric eel, Vixen disables a random special for each opponent and speeds up power generation for her ally.
Okay, so power generation speed I'm not very interested in because usually those don't really matter too much for the most part. And the disabling of one ability for each opponent, that's gonna be decent in like Arena and Champions Arena, because well, they are going to be able to use any specials anyway, except for the one that's disabled, but they're just gonna still spam specials and hit you if you do a mistake. At the very least, you got for a limited time that guaranteed additional damage against them because they got a disable and her passive triggers. But in raids and stories, I don't think we'll ever see that used. And I think it's just a super move. Yep, just a super move. So I'm gonna start it again from the start and let it play, and we'll talk a little bit. So yeah, first of all, it's amazing that it's a gold character, and lots of people might get it. It's amazing that it's a support character. Because it's a support character, there is no way that she's not gonna find a place in the team, because we're really lacking support characters in this game currently. The passives, I mean, the class advantage, it really depends on the values to see if that's going to be useful or people are going to look for using that specifically. The additional damage for each negative effect on the opponent is going to be quite an interesting thing that might be the best thing about this character and might have some crazy synergies with the top teams out there that we already have. And the defense reduction on a jump attack, I mean, I don't know, man. It's something that you're kind of glad that is there. I'm just glad it exists, but I wouldn't really mind if it didn't. But I'd rather have it there. But again, I don't think it's gonna be a core part of the character. Her specials don't do much, but that's okay because she's supposed to be a support character. Except for the special tree that kind of does something, but doesn't do that much. Again, my main problems with this character is her having a core mechanic that relies on a jump attack, but at the same time her not being able to chain a combo from a jump attack, which doesn't really make sense. But yeah, other than that, it really remains to see what values are, but I really think she's gonna be a quite useful character. And again, since she's gonna be a support, it's more or less guaranteed to be useful. So I'm pretty happy with this one, actually. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Let me know if you're annoyed that she has the Cheetah AI. And all that being said, thanks so much for watching. I'll hopefully see you on the next one. Goodbye.